I think with the CISSP now, you have to, I think it's computer based. Back then, it was pen and paper, like shading, like you shade all the questions, they
Yeah.
shade it back to the viewer. So you won't hear you won't know your results for like 6 weeks thereabout, So I passed my CISSP there, but I didn't have the experience. But I think some 3, 4 years later, I now got my certification and whatnot. The requirements was always the same. Now, the thing about ISC2 is that they won't stop you from writing the exam. I mean, they'll happily collect your money and give you the exam to write. You know, but the requirements are clear, right? When you pass the exam, you need to prove that you have 5 years of information security experience under your belt. And to be very honest, the CISSP certification is actually a great way to get into cybersecurity. The
So
only
so
problem is that it's a great way to get into cybersecurity. The only downside is that for you to hold the full certification, you need a certain level of experience. You need years of experience.
okay.
But it's a great way. And why I say so is that, and they will tell you that CISSP is a mile wide and an inch deep. It's not designed to make you an expert in anything, but it's designed to make a lot of information security concepts, cybersecurity architecture, things like that into your head. You just apart from the material, you also need to display some level of outfield experience, not just necessarily cybersecurity. So that so it's great because it introduces you to a lot at the same time. But at the same time, is a hard way to get there. Let me just put it out.
So the question I wanted to ask that with the limited years of experience you had that time, how were you able to manage to pass the CSSP? At least you had maybe 1 or 2 years experience before writing that exam there.
Okay. So the first thing is that I was I think I was lucky in many ways. The first thing was that the company chose to pay for my training, right? So
Wow.
there was actually training. One of my mentors back then, he was the one who ran that company, and when we're no more than five in class, five. And I was like, okay, fine. Everybody introduce yourselves, and we're all young, and this and that. Like, hi, I'm Femi. I'm the CISO. I'm like, CISO. Ever since then, that's what he told me, very CISO. That was, and see, look, just picture this, right? We're a personalization company and we're engaging back. And if you worked in the tech scene, right? This was before there was a bustling tech scene. Like if you work in the current tech scene, if you engage with a bank at a high level, there will be a point where they will send in their auditors. They want to look at your system, your logs and things like that,
Compliance.
your documentation. So the bankers will send in their auditors and they'll be like, who's this one? But guess what? I'll answer all their questions. I'll put their fears, and then we don't go around. They were like, okay, fine, okay. Well, fine, it works. It works. A young person who's in CIS, but then he gets the job done. So it was really interesting at that time. But yeah,
Wow.
the question that you had about the CISSP, how I was able to manage. The truth is, by design, cybersecurity is not an entry level career for anything. It simply is designed for entry level. Now, I know we're going to move into my mentorship and what I do, whatnot. But the thing is, uh, if you want to if you want to engage people as a young cybersecurity professional, not trying to engage them, probably trying to learn something from them, but you're trying to deliver value. You just need to be competent in that role, right? And when the day and age where there is simply no part of cybersecurity where you will not find materials out there,
Yeah.
or at least people to talk to, where you can just learn all to things. And that's just like it. You will see it's the bias is never gonna go away. Since the days of Shakespeare, since the days of if you're a young person trying to enter a field that has lots of veterans in it, you will be looked down on because again, young people have a lot of energy and they tend to jump up and down. That is a reality, and that's not a bad thing. You just need to you need to be wise to understand the realities of how people see things. So if you're trying to engage people who you need to understand their biases and just place those biases. Okay, fine. You need someone who is well spoken, so someone who is that competence is a given. If you're trying to work with probably tech companies who don't care about how you look, then fine. You can now adjust to that, but you just have to face the reality of what's in front of you. That's the truth. Now, in terms, I know you asked a question around my CISSP, how I was able to manage them. There was a training. I had to, they were YouTube. So I've got no name of this lady that she worked, I think she worked for the NSC and she did that CISSP. She had a lot of videos. I think it was my mentor that actually shared those videos with me. So, and things were not readily available online as they are now. So it was online, it was tough. It took me like 6 months to prepare for that exam. Until today, this is 13 years later, it's still the hardest exam I've ever written, ever. Because when I was young, I did not know that I passed of it. When I wrote my CISM from years later, I knew I'd passed. When I wrote my CS, I knew I'd passed. But when I wrote my CISSP years before, I did not know that. And guess what? One of the top instructors then, I remember watching that video. She was like, "I see, you have to pass this exam because even me, I don't do that exam again." That's how tough that exam is. So yeah.
If you were to take the exam now, how many maybe months or days will it take you to prepare?
I don't want to take that exam. That was all I'll take for free. But for that exam, it's really, and then there were no certificates. There are no dumps.
Well, yeah, even till now.
There were no, if you able to ahead other than think exam that you write on paper that you shade and you send, but you will not see those questions anywhere. You had to really just prepare and pass. So yeah.
Okay, so